A patient called me last month. He'd been told by a personal trainer that he needed 90 minutes a day, 6 days a week, to actually move the needle on his health. He's 53, runs his own business, has 2 kids. He looked at his diary, saw it was impossible, and did what most people do when something feels impossible. He did nothing. 6 months later, he came to me with a back that wouldn't bend, blood pressure climbing, and the quiet shame that sits underneath every person who knows they should be doing something but isn't. And I told him something that by the end of this episode, I want you to believe too. 5 minutes, that's the threshold the science actually shows. Not 90, not 60. 5. And today, my friend Dr. James and I are going to walk you through exactly why. Welcome to the Wellness Bridge. I'm Gary Chen, physiotherapist and founder of GC Integrative Physiotherapy and Wellness on the Gold Coast. Today we're doing an expert discussion episode. Me and Dr. James are Gold Coast-based exercise physiologists who has spent the last 15 years working with everyone from Olympic-level athletes to 90-year-olds rebuilding strength after a hip replacement. Welcome back, James.
Thanks, Gary. Always good to be back at this table.
James, let's start with the lie that's keeping people stuck. What is it?
The lie is that exercise has to be long, hard, and structured to count. The all or nothing belief. People think if they can't do an hour at the gym, there's no point starting. That belief is doing more damage than any single bad habit I can think of.
And what does the data actually say?
In 2022, a research team led by Stamatakis published a study in Nature Medicine. They tracked 25,000 non-exercising adults using wearable devices. The people who simply moved vigorously for 1 to 2 minutes at a time, accumulating about 4.5 minutes a day across the day, had a 38 to 40% lower all-cause mortality.
40% from 4.5 minutes.
In 1 to 2 minute bursts, carrying shopping upstairs faster than usual, brisk walking to catch a bus, climbing instead of taking the escalator. They called it VILPA, vigorous intermittent lifestyle physical activity. The word lifestyle matters. They didn't go to a gym. They didn't change clothes. They moved with intent, briefly, multiple times a day.
So the gym membership wasn't even a variable.
The variable was intent. A flight of stairs done with purpose 3 times a day was statistically more powerful than thinking about going to the gym and not going.
Let's stack the evidence, because Stamatakis isn't alone.
He's not. In 2011, Wen and colleagues published in the Lancet following 416,000 Taiwanese adults for 8 years. 15 minutes of moderate activity a day reduced all-cause mortality by 14% and added 3 years to life expectancy. 15 minutes.
15 minutes a day, 3 years of life.
Then in 2014, Lee and colleagues published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, 55,000 adults, 15 years of follow-up, people who ran 5 to 10 minutes a day, even at slow pace, even just 1 or 2 times a week, had a 30% lower all-cause mortality and 45% lower cardiovascular mortality compared to non-runners.
5 minutes of slow running, twice a week, halves your cardiovascular death risk.
In 2018, St. Maurice published in the Journal of the American Heart Association. They asked the question everyone was waiting for. Does the bout length matter? Do you need to do 30 minutes continuous, or can you stack 1-minute bouts and get the same benefit?
And the answer?
1-minute bouts were equivalent to 10-minute bouts for mortality benefit. The total daily minutes are what matter, not how you slice them. That single finding overturned 40 years of fitness orthodoxy.
So a person could do 5 1-minute walks throughout the day and get the same mortality benefit as someone doing one 5-minute block.
As long as the total accumulates, yes.
Now, what about strength? Because cardio isn't the whole story.
Garcia Hermoso and colleagues 2018 British Journal of Sports Medicine systematic review showed people in the highest grip strength category had a 31% lower all-cause mortality than those in the lowest, and that's independent of cardio fitness. Strength is its own longevity factor.
Which is why the sit-to-stand test predicts so much. Bohanna's work in 2019 in clinical interventions in aging show older adults who can do 10 or more sit-to-stands in 30 seconds have significantly lower frailty risk.
And 10 sit-to-stands take about 30 seconds. You can do them while the kettle boils.
One more piece of evidence. Ahmadi and colleagues published in the European Heart Journal in 2022 88,000 UK Biobank participants tracked with wearables. Just 15 to 20 minutes a week of vigorous activity reduced cardiovascular events by 16 to 40% per week, not per day.
15 minutes a week, James. That's 2 to 3 minutes a day. We're not talking about athletes. We're talking about people who otherwise wouldn't move at all.
Which means the threshold is so low, it almost feels suspicious. But the data is consistent across population after population and across decades. There's no longer a serious scientific argument for the all or nothing model. James, this is where I want to bring something in. Because there's a tradition that has been doing this for thousands of years, and it's only in the last decade that the West has started catching up. In Tai Chi practice, in Qigong, in the morning routines that older Chinese people have been doing in parks for centuries, the structure is exactly what the Western data is now confirming. Short, daily, specific, combined with breaths, combined with attention. My mother does 15 minutes every morning in her garden. She doesn't call it exercise, she calls it gathering herself. And the research from Wayne and colleagues at Harvard, published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society in 2014, showed that exactly this kind of daily Tai Chi practice improves global cognition and executive function in older adults with moderate effect sizes, beyond what cardio alone delivers.
Because it's not just movement, it's movement with attention.
Right. And that opens up a layer that pure exercise science has only recently started to take seriously. Crum and Langer in 2007 published a study in Psychological Science where they took 84 hotel housekeepers. They split them into two groups, same physical work, same hours, same shifts. The only difference was that one group was told that their cleaning work counted as exercise. 4 weeks later, that group had lost weight, reduced their blood pressure, and lowered their body fat. The control group doing identical work had not. The framing of the activity changed the physiological response,
Mindset is medicine.
which is what every Eastern tradition has been saying since the Tao Te Ching. The bridge here, James, is that the West measured intensity and duration. The East measured intention and rhythm. Both are right. Both matter. And the most powerful daily habit is the one where they meet. So let's give people something they can actually use. 5 things, James, that the listener can start tomorrow morning.
1. Stack 90 seconds of vigorous activity into your existing day. Take stairs faster twice. Carry the groceries from the car in one trip even when it hurts. Walk to the letterbox at speed. 3 of those, you've got your VILPA threshold.
2. 10 sit-to-stands while the kettle boils. Every morning. That's it. You're hitting the strength signal. Bohannon's research suggests you'll maintain the functional capacity that lets you stay independent into your 80s.
3. 1 5-minute walk after each main meal, 3 meals, 15 minutes total. Wen's 2011 Lancet data says you've earned 3 years of life expectancy with that alone.
4. Pair the movement with breath and attention. 5 minutes of slow Tai Chi style movement or just slow standing breathing in the morning. The research from Wen and colleagues shows this layers a cognitive benefit on top of the cardiovascular benefit.
And 5, reframe what counts. Crum and Langer's hotel housekeeper study tells us that calling your daily walk exercise actually changes your body's response to it. Your body is listening to the story you tell it.
So the prescription in total is somewhere between 5 and 20 minutes a day, not in one block, stacked, intentional, with breath.
And every single one of these is supported by grade A evidence. We didn't pick the easy version. We picked the version the data actually backs.
James, the last thing I want to say to the listener is this. The Australian Institute of Health and Welfare reported in 2023 that 55% of Australian adults are below the national activity guidelines, not because they don't care, because the bar feels impossible. The 30-minute 5-day-a-week guideline is a number that was designed for a world that doesn't exist anymore. What the last 15 years of research has done is quietly demolish the all-or-nothing model. The new floor isn't 90 minutes a day, it's 5. The new floor isn't a gym membership, it's a flight of stairs done with intent. The new floor isn't a personal trainer, it's a kettle and a willingness to stand up 10 times. The patient I told you about at the start of the episode, 6 months in, doing the protocol we just laid out. His back bends now. His blood pressure is 12 points lower. He has not joined the gym. He has not bought equipment. He has not changed his diary. He just stopped believing the lie that it had to be heroic to count. If this conversation moves something for you, please save this episode and send it to one person who's stuck in the all or nothing trap. They probably need to hear 5 minutes is the floor, not the ceiling. Dr. James, thank you for being here.
Thanks, Gary. Always.
Remember, together we find balance in one,